What's up, you beautiful collectors? This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the support of Terrence and my other patrons, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers The Last Knight Deluxe Class Autobot Squeeks, part of the Premier Edition line. For the package, you got that really cool Transformers text here along the side with the Premier logo there. You, of course, had the Transformers Last Knight logo right down here with a really cool image of Squeeks looking really well gunned. And then you have an open window that fully showcases the figure. On the side here, you can see that he's a deluxe class figure. On the opposite side, you got another image where he's just kind of hanging out. And he's an Autobot Amigo, which, okay. But on the back of the package, you can see that he actually has 3 modes. Which, honestly, I think it's more that his little robot mode here transforms into a bit of a scooter, and then he also has a little trailer that transforms and opens up into like a little repair sort of thing. But you can see it transforms in 19 steps, so there's a lot going on with this guy. Then also coming out, we have the new Deluxe Class Autobot Drift. On the top of the package, you got images of Bumblebee, Optimus, and Drift, as you can see in his new kind of red Mercedes look. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Deluxe Class Squeeks opened up out of its packaging, and obviously in his alternate mode, which is a little scooter. And this guy is absolutely adorable. I'm beyond in love with this little thing. Now, honestly, I always really liked characters like Wheelie, obviously the Michael Bay version, Brains, you know, and those goofy kind of things. And Squeeks here is another one of those, and I'm in love with this guy. And the toy's actually pretty cool too. Now, as you can see, this is his big giant gun. He does come with several accessories. Take a look at this first. You can see that it's just molded in this fairly dark gray plastic, good molding throughout the entire thing. I do wish there was some extra paint details on here. Now, I have no doubt that Takara will probably do that. You got like these missiles on here. I mean, this is just like an exploded gun that has a whole bunch of different guns attached to it. I mean, it's really crazy how much kind of firepower this little thing has. You got a little teeny tiny handle right here, so I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it looks even more insane when it's actually on him. But he does have a lot of other accessories, as I talked about, and they store right in this back section. Now, this is a little bit tricky to actually get to attach to it, but it is just a ball joint. So pulling this apart or just pulling that off of it, I mean, maybe it's actually easier to do it like that. No, we're going to pull that off like that, leaving that down. So you do have 2 different parts here. So I don't know, like I said, I mean, they say that he's got 3 alt modes. I don't know if maybe they're referring to like this as part of an alt mode or something, or an alt mode just by itself, and then this, I have no idea. But this is his little trailer thingy. You can see it actually has some wheels, so it does roll very nicely. You got 4 translucent ones here on the bottom. Good molded detail across the bottom as well, and then you can see kind of like this brush in terms of like a dirt or a rust kind of on here. I mean, you can actually see that's kind of cool looking, but it's a little bit more brownish as opposed to rust color. And you can see you got that side, you got that side, you got a little bit more on that side than you do on this side, which is cool. I like that kind of asymmetry that they got going on here. I would imagine that Takara, again, will probably do a little bit better with the paint job. So ultimately, I think that the Takara one will probably be the one that I'll want in my collection, just because it replicates rust a little bit better. I'm going to be honest, this just kind of looks like poop. Yeah, I said it. It just looks like poop smeared on there. But I don't think it's bad. I think it could be better, though. But as you can see, you can attach it there. Now, this does have another purpose. You can open these up, and you can see on the inside here are little, I'm guessing like missile things. I have no idea. And then you can lift this whole section up and around. You can then position this. You can then take these, open that, and then bring that down as well. And you have like this whole little, I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be like this or what, but I mean, the general idea is something like this. So it's a little medical bay, of sorts. So you can have fun with this as a thing. You can also then take this. This extends out. This whole thing rotates. You can see a lot more of that smeared poop all through the entire thing. You got those little rust marks right there. You got it throughout this little bit here. You got it on here. But you have this little section that can rotate all the way around. You can lift that up. This actually goes down so that you can do a little bit of crane work with it. You got like that little claw thing right here, which that's on a ball joint, so you can kind of rotate that around. So you got a bunch of different articulation points there. You can swivel it. You got a hinge. You got a little hinge right here. You got a little ball. Is this a ball joint? No, that's just a hinge and swivel right up there. This piece is on a hinge, so you can move that. This is on a ball joint. Like I said, this is very soft rubber. So what I'm noticing is that while it does hinge up and down, and you can see that it is a ball joint, the problem though is that as I'm rotating it, I feel as if it's kind of pulling on it, because as you can see, it's a softer material. So I'm not going to really do that too much because I don't want to damage it. You got these little bits right here, some nice silver kind of rocket launcher thingies, and then you have literally like a toolbox here which opens up and you can fold it around, and then you have actual storage right here for some of his other accessories. Pulling these out now, this is a bit parts for me, I guess, but you have the little handlebars and the brakes right on here. You have extra ones here, which actually become his hands, or can become his hands. These actually just stay right there. So, like I said, it's a little bit parts for me. I'll show that off here in a little bit, but you have this. You also do get an arm, which is literally just an arm. It just pegs in here, much like these ones peg into the kind of shoulder bit on Squeeks, and as you can see, you got the little hole right here. You got the little handle for the gun, and that's what you can actually do. And you can see how ridiculous that it kind of gets. And also, it's a little bit, I will say, flimsy in the fact that it doesn't go. I mean, you can see it goes all the way down, but then it's on this weird bent angle. So you have to kind of go like that. But then the handle doesn't go all the way down on the hand. So you're left, if you want to go with a straight pose, kind of doing that and not having it be, as you can see, all that secure in his actual hand. It is what it is. So setting this off to the side, because that's going to really not have much of a purpose in his actual little robot mode. I mean, it does do some stuff for his robot mode, but we'll take a look at that here in a bit. But here you have him as the little scooter. I really am annoyed kind of at the fact that they got the little stamp right here, C2403, and then you also have one. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Let me come in there. You can actually see, so that's printed on there, and then that's actually like scraped into it. So that I don't mind as much. That kind of bugs me, but I guess, you know, you can see a lot more poop just spread around them. You got a really nice Autobot logo there. Some good paint, though, in general. It's a softer, lighter blue color, so it looks pretty good. You got some nice silver for the rims, and then, obviously, black tires. You can see the Autobot logo. Nice silver for his thrusters. You got a brown seat. In general, I am pretty happy with it. I'm trying to see. Oh, actually, yeah, you got a little blue translucent bit here for his little headlights. You can see that he does have a kickstand. You can move that up and then have him fall. So obviously you're going to want to use that frequently. And that also does come in handy in his little robot mode. And I say robot because one of my favorite kind of lines in Futurama, which is a favorite show of mine, was robot. And I'm instantly reminded of a character from Futurama, and I'll get to that. A lot of people talk about how like this is kind of like BB-8 or Wall-E or even Johnny Five, and I can see all that. But there's one character now from Futurama that looks like this that my wife actually mentioned, and I can't unsee it now. It's really crazy. But in general, good paint detail on here. I'm very happy with how this turned out. You can roll that. I mean, and he can roll. It's just, obviously, he's not going to be able to sit there very well. But as a scooter, he's also pretty big. Now, coming back a little bit further, obviously, a scooter is not going to be as big as a car. So scales out the window. Obviously, he's going to be much smaller in the movie, and it's going to scale a lot better. But with toys, it doesn't work so much. So this is the new deluxe barricade. Obviously, not everybody has that. So bringing out a really old deluxe figure. This is the only one that I have in vehicle mode. This is the 2007 classic Camaro version. So again, much bigger than a scooter really should be. And I mean, even Bumblebee's kind of a, well, no, he's about the same size as Barricade here, a little bit longer, but I mean, there's no way that this scales properly. But, you know, I mean, scale's not all that big of a deal. Now, to transform him, he's actually really simple, but also still very satisfying to do. First, what I'm going to do is hinge this piece down. You got a little tab on the bottom, or on the top of this gray, that pegs into the bottom of the actual blue section. So hinge that down. You can also hinge this down as well. Just going to rotate that around. I may have it the wrong way. I'll fiddle with that here in a bit. Go ahead, take the handlebar section, rotate that around like that. Bring these little bits out, and then you want to rotate these around. Do that on both sides. These are his little arms, and I'll touch on these here in a bit. So kind of angle that around. Go ahead, take this, fold this all the way back, rotate this out. You can then take this, and then you literally keep that down. You literally just bring this whole section up, and it just collapses kind of right like so. Then take this, rotate this around, bring his little head out, make sure that you fold that all the way down, bring that around like that, and then this whole front section here, this can be a little bit tricky because it tabs in very securely, but pull this out, you then rotate this around, and then you angle this up, kind of creating like the chest that sticks out. So then rotate these up. Yeah, did I have that in the right way? Yeah, actually, I kind of did. You want to have that extra detail here on the outside here now for his little legs. So you can angle these. You can make them look a little bit more dilapidated. I mean, you can angle that up and then angle them out. Obviously, I'm going to leave the little kickstand to get him to stabilize here a little bit better. If you move it all the way, he just kind of leans back a little. So I like using that as a little way to kind of keep them a little bit more straight like so. Now this is where I was talking about you got a little bit of parts forming that you need to do. So you got these little shoulder bits right here, and then you got little holes right there. So what you do is you take these and plug these in just like that. Do that on this side as well. Plug that in just like so. Now, like I said, you have these ones that are right here, so these are completely superfluous. But I don't think it looks all that bad. I'm sure some people will complain about the parts forming nature of them, but I'm okay with it. But when you're done, there you have Squeeks in this pretty cute looking robot mode. And I really do think that this guy's absolutely adorable. I know the comparisons to other cute little characters in movies. I get that, but I love this guy. Now, in the movie, we don't know if he's going to have this. We haven't seen it yet. This is pretty much what we're used to seeing so far. And instantly, I did get that vibe of, you know, like a Wall-E or a little BB-8 kind of character. But for me, I really think he looks like this guy from Futurama. I mean, you got the big eyes, you got the little buck tooth, you got the weird kind of extremities. I mean, it looks like Tinny Tim. And I made the joke on Twitter that I can't unsee it now, but I absolutely love the way that this guy is. I mean, in the transformation, I mean, you could see he really compacts pretty decently, I think. Now, again, you get a little bit more of that poop kind of smear on here, which really doesn't look all that good. It's just like plopped right here. I do wish there was a little bit better of an overall blend, but it's still not terrible or anything. I love the blue clear plastic that they used here for the eyes. It gives it a very cool sort of, I guess, lifelike sort of. I don't know how to describe it, but I think it looks absolutely terrific. I love the little cracks in the gouges here in his helmet. Just really shows an overall damaged and worn kind of robot. I absolutely love it. Now, like I was talking about, you can use this in a couple different ways. Actually, you can fold this all back up, and I'm going to show you that here. So collapsing all of this, putting that there, folding that back in. Now, you can attach this to him in his little robot mode here. So let me get that all transformed and collapsed. You have a little, where's it at? Well, like on the back here. So you come around here to the back of them, and you can actually take these and fold these up like that, and then you can bring this over and tab that down right there. I don't know why you would really need or want to do that. It gives you kind of like little weapons up here, I guess, and you can separate these if you really were so inclined. But you do that, and I think that that's kind of strange and makes them a whole lot bigger. But you got that little tab bit right in here, and that you can't really do anything with unless you actually have it lifted up. That's where the little slot went. Well, all right, that's just friction tabs in there. Oops. I'm breaking them more and making them worse. So that's a little bit strange. I don't care too much about it. But like I said, we don't know if we're actually going to get something like this in the movie. So it's not bad. Now, you can also remove these. And like I was talking about, you got a little arm here that just pegs right back in, so sliding that in there. So now you can give them an arm. It is a little bit precarious because the plastic here is a little bit softer, so it does tend to bend at the actual peg that puts in there. But you can give them an arm, and you can then take this and you can do that, and you can have him holding a giant gun. It is very heavy. It does kind of fall out, so you may want to actually go like that, but it just, yeah, it doesn't really peg in there all that great, to be totally honest. It's very heavy. It weighs it down. I don't mind so much the arm. It's kind of strange how it just seems like he grows an arm or something. I mean, who knows what he actually does in the movie. So you do have those bits for his little accessories. First articulation, his head will kind of swivel from side to side. I guess you could kind of say it looks up and down, but when you do that, you get all this stuff down here. You can lift his little helmet and something like that. I don't know. The little shoulders here do rotate down kind of at the lower section. That's part of the transformation. And then they also do hinge on 2 points. So you can bend it kind of any way that you really want. So you can articulate it fairly decently. And because these just peg in, you can rotate these around as well. The wheels, you can, as you can see, kind of flare them out a little bit. You can get that out of the way. You can swivel them. They can hinge up and down a little. So you can kind of pivot that and position that how you really want. But basically, that's his look. That's what it's going to be, and that's what it's going to go for. Now, again, fairly big. I don't think he's obviously this big in the movie. I mean, because obviously he's a scooter and a human would need to ride it. But here you have him next to the new Last Night barricade in both deluxe size figures. And you can see that, I mean, he is smaller, obviously, but scale-wise is definitely kind of thrown out the window here. And for another figure that's a little bit more common, here he is next to the, well, technically this is the Last Night version of Bumblebee, but it utilizes the Age of Extinction mold. So again, you can see definitely smaller, and I think that works. But when you take into consideration that, you know, a human is going to be like really tiny, or maybe up to here, I don't know. This guy is definitely a lot bigger. But overall, really very, very fun. I just dig this guy so much. And they are coming out with a remote control version of this guy, which I'm super excited about getting that. I love the little remote control figures and such. So it's one, I just completely detached everything. So that's one that when I first saw the announcement for it, I was really super excited. So now to transform it back, we're going to, again, remove these. You can come around here, open this up. And it does store, and pops out very easily. So the gun, or I'm sorry, the hand does store in here, and then you can take these little guys and tuck those in there as well. So you do kind of have storage for it. Unfortunately, you don't really have storage for his gun per se. You have several different little holes here, so I was just putting it in there. I mean, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I'm just putting it there for the heck of it. So setting that off to the side, then just bring these arms out, take this little chest piece. You want to rotate this down and then spin it around and then bring it all the way down here on this little hinge and then push this in along the bottom section. Just kind of
line that up. Those tabs are really long, so there we go. Put that in like so, and then literally just pull it all the way apart, detach them, get that out, bring these wheels out, kind of hinge them down. Take these, rotate these around, and then rotate them down. Do that on this side as well. Rotate that around like so. Then take this, fold this forward just like that, and then again you're going to you have little tabs and such right here, so you have to make sure that you get everything properly lined up. So this is the bringing this down. This is in that. Why aren't you spinning? There we go. Are you the proper way? I think that is. Yeah, so you want to have it like that, and then you open this, take this back section, you literally just tuck this down and around like that. Got kind of flopping around a little bit, and then you just take that and you slide that in, and then you collapse that just like so. Go ahead and bring these back, and this little section here will push up and lock into place right there, and then you have this one right down here. Again, like I said, you got a little gray section right there that's going to snap up in here, so bring that up, that locks that into place. Take that, put that down, rotate his handlebars, and there you have Squeeks back in his scooter mode. Again, really very simple, really very off the wall, kind of, but I absolutely love them. The paint detail for what it is actually pretty decent. I do think that we can get a better painted version of them, but for what it is right here, I don't think it's bad. It does kind of look like poop. I've said that several times, but I actually appreciate the fact that they did put kind of like a brush of that paint throughout here. The transformation is actually really very simple, as you can see, but really does yield a good looking alternate and robot mode. I mean, granted, the robot mode is just kind of like a mess, but he's supposed to look like that. So both I really do enjoy. The only aspect that I think that may upset some people would be the parts forming in terms of removing these for the robot mode, and obviously vehicle mode they stay here, but in the various CGIs that we've seen of him, he does seem to have these kind of hanging out underneath his head as well as being on his arms, so who knows. In general, really very fun. I do think that this is going to be a character that a lot of people are going to like, especially kids. I get the feeling that he is going to be a very unique character and one that is going to stand out to us. But for the toy, I love this guy. So without question, I would recommend picking him up. So all that being said, if Squeeks here is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he will be hitting various retail locations fairly soon. So if you're looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, there's Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformers The Last Knight figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, do me a real quick favor and click on that bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, till all are one.